Hey you guys, my name is Pixel. Welcome back to another horrific indie horror game. Today we've got one for you called Lift Your Spirits. Now this is a visual novel style horror game. Played many of them like it, just recently played one like it. And I always find these things to be fascinating. The story that's involved with them, the characters, it's just spooky all around. And they always do the scares so well. So we are just going to jump right into this and see what's it all about. Alone on a Friday night, and I'm spending it here. Does the text auto advance? My fingers were sluggish as they typed out the last bit of conclusion they needed to finish off my paper. I didn't even bother spell checking the rest, my hand dragging the cursor across to close the document. Alright, time to submit it. I typed out my regards to Mr. Holtman. Kindly find the attached file of the assignment, your student, Pixel. Stifling a yawn, I turned on my phone to check the time. 2:53 a.m. The universal experience of losing sleep and gaining eye bags as a college student came to grace me in its hold once again, it seems. At least it's the weekend. Party for... Everybody's working for the weekend. Turning off the computer, it suddenly hit me how quiet it was without my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. Everyone else had left. The campus was open 24/7, but who else was dumb enough to push their luck in submitting their assignment this late? You. I considered myself lucky. Mr. Holton gave me the extended deadline, otherwise I'd be screwed. Still, there were also the rumors. Disembodied voices echoing through empty rooms. Heavy footsteps shuffling down the halls. Those who were lucky claimed to see a black silhouette skulking around the vending machine at the end of the corridor, staring at them. I wasn't the superstitious type, but I had to admit, the eerie silence of being the only person here gave me the creeps. I was recalling all the gossip spread around the student body when a sound made me perk up. I glanced behind me over the monitors to see if someone had come in. Nobody. I ignored the goosebumps rising on my arms as I gathered up my items into the bag. Superstitious or no, I've done what I came here for. Time to go. Time to go! I shambled to the elevators and tapped the button. It rumbled to life, slowly making its way up to my floor. Just a couple more minutes and I'm out of here, I assured myself. I don't know why, but I found myself constantly checking behind me as if expecting someone there. Yet it's always empty every time I look. I tapped the button some more. Yeah, that's it. You keep tapping the button of the elevator. It makes it go faster. The hairs at the back of my neck stood as if I was being watched. Uh-oh. Ah! I clenched my fists, ignoring how sweaty they felt in my pockets. Someone there? Is there someone behind me? Is there someone behind you? Oh, God. It's the elevator. Ding. I jumped. That's right. That's right, you jumped. The door slid open as I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. I didn't even consider looking back as I stepped inside, refusing to turn around until the doors closed. The chipper background music they played calmed me down somewhat. I'm almost in disbelief they were still playing it at this hour. Almost. I pressed the button for the ground floor, the elevator moving with a small jolt. With nothing to do but wait, I stared as the number slowly descended. The lull of the elevator was starting to make me sleepy. I thought of the things I could do once I got home, just to distract myself for the rest of the ride. A shower for sure. Microwave dinner yeah? No! I blinked up at the flickering lights. Uh-oh. The elevator shuddered and came to an abrupt halt. It's everybody's worst nightmare. The music cut out. Oh, hey, I was enjoying that. I tried the button for the ground floor, then the rest. I don't know, man. The power went out. I don't think your buttons are going to work. Unresponsive. Pushing the intercom button gave nothing but static. Hello? No. This can't be happening. Taking a moment to compose myself, I called out. Is anyone out there? I'm stuck in here. Help! I started slamming the doors as panic took hold. There had to be someone out there. Help! Please, I'm in here. I didn't stop for a good minute, getting more and more desperate as tears welled up in my eyes. Why? Why now? Why me? I knocked my forehead against the door in a slump, ready to curl up and cry. This sucks. I was about to turn before I felt a chill run up my spine. The air felt heavy. Is this claustrophobia setting in? I don't think I had a fear of closed spaces, unless there was a raspy moan from behind me. I turned my head and screamed. Ah! Oh, it's just a hole. Across me was a growing blotch of darkness, an oozing mass that seemed to melt through the walls. I scrambled away, my back flat against the doors. Oh no, there's an arm coming out. A hand emerged from the rising form, grasping at the edges. Foul-smelling black ichor dripped from its fingers. Oh no, it's another hand. Another arm followed suit, clinging to the other side. I couldn't look away. Oh, hi, nice eyes. I couldn't find my voice to scream. A face took shape. You're just happy to see me. A pair of hollow eyes and manic grin with several teeth. It seemed to smile directly at me. Well, who else would it be smiling at? Uh-oh. I blacked out. We lost all our Pokemon. Hey. I heard a voice, panicked and flustered, from above me. Hi? Hi? Who are you? Who are you? A person was looming over me, visibly worried as I blinked back to consciousness. I guess I passed out. You're alive. I couldn't really check for a pulse, so... Anyway, are you alright? Ew, don't touch me, creep. I think so. Phew, I'm glad. Didn't mean to scare you back there. I realized I was still in the elevator, but now with a stranger, twiddling their thumbs in front of me. They were taller than me, looming a few good inches past my head. Their limbs looked even more awkward in the baggy sweater they had. I wasn't sure if they forgot to wash away their makeup or if they just hadn't slept for 3 days straight. Possibly both. We know that feeling. I realized they were staring at me as well. Their eyes focused on me a little too long, as if they'd forgotten how to blink. So I suddenly remembered the last thing I saw. That creepy shadow from the walls. Before you were here, there was something crawling out of the walls. I know it sounds insane, but I swear, it looked straight out of a horror movie. Stranger looked nervous. Crap, they think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you. For sure. You saw it too? Well, sort of. Sorry. I was really trying to be sneaky. That must have been uncomfortable to watch, huh? What? What are you saying? Well, I heard you yelling for help, and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. What kind of sick joke is this? I was just trying to help. There's really no easy way to say this. I'm not alive. Not the way you are. Did they mean... You mean like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you've heard the rumors, right? Well, it's me, in the flesh. Well, sans the flesh. Stick your... you know what? If somebody ever said they were a ghost, this is what I would do. I would be sticking my hand through them. I need to trust what they're saying. My hand shot out before I could think twice. What? The tips of my fingers instantly felt airy and ice cold, like touching something solid, yet not. The stranger yelped and backed away. Hey, you just go around sticking your fingers into people you just met? Sorry, I thought you were messing with me. Stranger was having none of it. Why do I even bother? If you sit tight and don't do anything stupid, they'll come for you in the morning. Oh no, I think I hurt her feelings. They shifted into a familiar black shapeless entity, melting into a puddle and disappearing through the floor. Exactly the same way they had entered. Aww. I found myself alone for the next 7 hours. The workers found me half dozing in the corner the next morning. I stayed late most nights on campus to see if the stranger would show up, but it seems they're ignoring me on purpose. I never saw them again. Bad end 1. Rude awakening. Damn, we really did. We hurt her feelings. Okay. I gotta at least try and get one of the good endings. So we're gonna go. That was pretty short as well. We're gonna go back through this again. And we're gonna be nice the whole time. We're not gonna look at them crazy. We're just going to be totally believable. And we're going to see how that goes for us. Okay, so we'll be right back. Okay, so now we've made it back to our terrible choice that ended our game. And this time we're going to believe them. I feel like this isn't the worst situation to be meeting a ghost for the first time. The stranger gave a sigh of relief. Thank you for trusting me. I'd ask for your name, but I already know that it's Pixel. How did you... I've been watching you for a little while. Excuse me? Tonight. I've been watching you for a while tonight. It's not safe to be alone this late. I would know. Before I could ask further, they straightened. Anyways, I stuck around to see you write your paper. I don't necessarily agree with your hypothesis, but interesting nonetheless. Thanks. Thanks for your opinion. They gave a shy smile. No problem. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accepted it, the better. I should probably ask for their name instead of calling them stranger. You know my name, but what about yours? Oh. They looked away, fingers picking at their sleeve. I don't remember. I know who I was and what I did when I was alive, but not my name. Strange, isn't it? Have you ever thought of picking one yourself? Their eyes widened, as if the thought never occurred to them. Why? That's a wide eyes. I never needed a name, but if I were to have one, I've always liked the way Alma sounds. That's perfect, Alma. Their smile widened. Thank you, Pixel. Alma went back to twiddling their fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gauging on what to say next. I kept glancing back at their hands, wondering if they'd feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but didn't seem to mind, waiting patiently in front of me. My thoughts were running wild from sleep deprivation and shock to actually form words. Past our introductions, to be honest. They started humming softly as to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost. They could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, how did you, Alma had a knowing look in their eyes. Oh man, it's honestly kind of embarrassing. And you know what, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it. I guess I don't have to tell you then. That's alright. I heaved a sigh and moved to sit down, leaning against the doors. She seemed uncomfortable about talking about it, so she didn't have to talk about it. Alma looked on curiously. What are you doing? I shrugged and took out my phone to look for a time-wasting app. In no time, I had one of my mindless games open. Might as well settle in and just spend the next few hours trying to beat my high score. Not much I can do right now. Got some battery to last a couple hours. I pat down a spot next to me. You want to watch? Alma stood for a moment as if unsure. Come on, plenty of room for both. Just watch your legs, Lanky. I'm going Lanky. They settled in beside me, sitting crisscross applesauce, and leaned over to look at my phone. Really say crisscross applesauce? My shoulder immediately chilled at their close proximity, but I didn't bother bringing it up. We chatted amicably as my fingers tapped away at my screen, Alma getting more invested the higher my numbers got. But otherwise, it was peaceful company. A few hours passed. I must have dozed off at some point, as the next thing I knew there was some whirring behind me that woke me up with a jolt. Voices began to call out, and I turned to see some workers prying the door open for me. It took no time for me to step outside when their work was done. The sunlight shining over me as it felt like everything that happened last night was a dream. I turned on my phone to look at the time. Instead, I saw an unsent message typed out on the screen. Be safe. Careful about staying late next time. I blinked and looked around. A cold chill went up to my arm, and I almost turned to expect Alma, but I saw nothing. Next time? I put my phone away and rubbed my bleary eyes, mentally making a note to stay back at the campus more frequently from now on. Good end one. Till next time. So I wonder now, if we ask her about how she died, I wonder what kind of ending that would get us. So, once again, sit tight, and we will be right back whenever we get back to that next choice. Okay, so we've made it back to where Alma, she kind of didn't want to tell us about how she died. She thought it was kind of embarrassing. But let's insist this time. Let's see what happens. Despite having no blood flowing through their veins, their cheeks seemed to darken. We don't have to get into it, but I really want to know. Please? They hesitated before nodding. Promise you won't make fun of me? Promise. Okay. So, I was staying late working on an assignment, just like you. No one was around. Even back then, I was known as a loner most of the time. It didn't bother me. While I was working, I got thirsty. No big deal. So I headed over to the vending machine for a drink. They paused, hands shaking. They clasped up their wrists and twisted before continuing. Just a soda. Not too much to ask, right? I paid for the damn thing, but somehow my hand got stuck in the dispenser. So I pulled, and, well... They struggled for a bit before I waved for them to continue. Like that. It fell. I felt my whole body being crushed under the weight. I couldn't even cry out for help. And the whole time my hand was still stuck on that thing. Not that I could even tell. I think my wrist was beyond saving at that point. They sunk into themselves. I died trying to get some cheap soda. How pathetic is that? You kind of sounded like you deserved it. But you know what? No. We're going to continue being nice. We're going to be sympathetic. It's not. I'm sorry that happened to you. I put my hand over theirs. It passed right through, giving an ice-cold chill at my fingertips. But Alma seemed to appreciate it nevertheless. They looked up at me, their nervous hands finally coming to a stop. I've never told anyone about it before. I didn't think I would feel this freeing. Thank you. You know, I think you're a really great person. I want to help you get out of here. I tilted my head. How are you going to do that? I can try some things. That is, if you trust me. Do we trust Alma or do we trust Alma? Oh, which one? Oh, this is such a tough choice, you know. What are we going to go with? Let's stick with the top. It's been good to us this far. They clapped their hands excitedly. Okay, here we go. You might want to hold on to something. Before I could ask further, the elevator began to drop. My heart plunged into my throat as my weight shifted upwards. Alma? Hang on, let me focus. The buttons for each floor flashed beside me. I closed my eyes shut and decided to trust them. It felt like a roller coaster heading straight to the ground. The air whizzed around me. I gripped my teeth and clenched my hands, knuckles probably white if I bothered to look. And just like that, it stopped. I yelped as the elevator jolted. I landed on my ass with a smack. Smack that ass. I blinked my eyes open to see Alma clapping excitedly. They looked over to see me on the floor and gestured towards the doors. They creaked open as if manually pulled apart by an unseen force. My jaw dropped as I realized they really did bring me to the ground floor. You really did it. I did. I never got to do that before. Couldn't believe my eyes. I stood and threw my arms around Alma, only to completely pass through them. They yelped and backed away to the wall. Give a signal before you do that. I don't appreciate feeling hands inside of me. It's gross. Sorry. I gathered myself and stepped through the doors, Alma following suit. Sure enough, the lobby was empty, the clock on the wall indicating that it was close to 4 a.m. now. Well, I guess this is it. I turned to see them trying hard not to reach for their hands, fingers twitching to intertwine with one another. It all happened so fast. It sunk in that now I could leave and go home right now if I wanted to. Alma, thank you. I appreciate it. They nod understandingly. I stood there for a moment as they looked at me before averting their eyes. They were waiting for me to leave. I grasped at my phone inside my pocket, mustering the courage to ask what I was about to ask. Would you ever want to hang out again? They did a double take. Huh? Would you want to hang out? Yes! But why would you want to? Why wouldn't I? I like you. Once again, their cheeks darkened despite being them. I like you too. Yeah, I'd love to hang out again. Great. Preferably when I'm, not stuck and helpless in an elevator. My heart skipped a beat as they laughed lightly. Preferably, of course. I'll see you next week. Yes. Don't worry about a time or place. I can always find you, wherever you are in the building. Kind of unsettling, but okay. Stay safe, Pixel. I waved and headed towards the entrance, pulling my phone out to call for a driver from one of my apps. When I turned to look back, Alma was already gone. Good end to Friends for Life. Or more. That was charming. It wasn't a horror game in the usual sense, but that was really charming and cute. The main scary part being whenever they first appeared. I really enjoyed that, though. It's about the only horror aspect I can tell of this game was that, it involved a ghost. But, the ghost was cute. They were nice. It was a nice, charming experience. I really enjoyed that. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, feel free to like the video. If you want to see more content like this, and you want to be notified whenever other videos come out, feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you want to play for this game for yourself, I will have a link down in the description below. Maybe there's other endings that I haven't seen yet. Thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye now.